Have you ever had sex with a nice guy?
No.
Welcome back to LustCast. Strap in because today we're tearing down the myth of the nice guy. You know the type, always there with a shoulder to cry on, but never quite making it past the friend zone. Why do nice guys miss out on love? And if you're stuck with that label, how can you shake it off and level up in the dating world? But before we get into that, remember to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you really like my content, please consider taking out a paid subscription. It's $4.99 a month and you get bonus content and uncensored versions of my podcast. So joining me to dish the unfiltered truth on nice guys is the fabulous Chloe Toy. How's it going, Chloe?
Hello. Thank you very much for having me. Yeah, this is interesting.
And nice guys. You
And
have
nice guys.
experience with nice guys?
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, yeah, it's a shame. So I don't know where to start, but I'll start from my earliest interaction with nice guys. Back when I was in secondary school, I had this wonderful group of just misfit lads. They didn't quite fit in with what we had at school, chavvy. I don't know if we still have chavvy at school. They didn't fit in with the
I think we
chavvy.
have roadmen now.
Oh, is it roadmen?
I think so.
Oh, they've upgraded slightly. Well,
I shouldn't be teaching you British culture.
No, you shouldn't.
But I don't even know if I'm right.
Well, I'm sure someone will let me know. This was what a roadman is, and this is the difference. I'm sure I'll get a whole essay later. But
Yeah.
anyway, we had the sort of chavvy lot, we had the very smart geeky lot, and then I had my little misfit of boys.
The in-betweeners, basically.
Yeah, it was literally the in-betweeners. And then I was the random girl that sort of, I didn't fit in with the nice girls. I didn't fit in with the girly girls. I didn't fit in with the sort of the high maintenance girls. So I was like, these are a group of lads. And they happen to all be in the same classes, in the same like homeroom situation. So we just ended up bonding together.
That's quite unusual, though.
It was, well, I think it was more... I'd sort of I was one of the girls that didn't like wearing the skirts, and I wore the trousers, and I was going through my early stages of like grebo and emo.
Are you like a tomboy type?
Yeah, I would have I was still in that phase of, yes, I'm a girl, but I can climb trees. I want to ride my bike. I'm not going to get upset about dirt or bugs or anything.
I didn't expect that from your Instagram.
No. Well, the thing is, it's a very polished look. It's a very polished look because I don't think... I can't show it as a ladylike way. And I think people have this idea that I should be very presentable at all times. But I'm really not. I will slouch around in a dressing gown. There's been many shoots that I've rocked up in this morning's pajamas, in dressing gown, hair in top knot, and like makeup done perfectly, but the rest of me looks like I've just sort of literally just woken up, which is wonderful. But yeah, these group of lads were absolutely wonderful. I'd say from the ages of like 12 to 14, riding bikes, adventuring, getting into all sorts of just normal teenage trouble. Not trouble, like the police didn't know us. But
and you didn't find secret government labs under your town?
Well, no, we used to have what we called the dungeons. It wasn't the dungeons. It was this like old BT like signal port thing that had just been abandoned. But we called it the dungeons because there was lots of downstairs basements that had bars and stuff, and it looked very gruesome. But yeah, it was just an old BT.
Your life is sounding like a coming of age drama.
It really was, because we would go out on adventures, obviously come back before dinner, before mums would come find us. And they were lovely. They were the loveliest lads. They didn't treat me any differently because I was a girl. They didn't go, well, you can't do that because you're a girl. These guys were lovely. And then at the age of sort of 14, 15, 16, hormones hit them like a train. And they just became these ravenous little horny dogs that no matter what woman was looking their way or not looking their way, they all had their eye on someone else, which was fine.
Yeah, and that must be quite interesting though, because not many girls get to see
and it was very
what guys are like.
Eye-opening, because obviously I became one of the lads.
Yeah.
So they would talk to me about this, and I always used to go, I don't think that's the best plan. I don't think you should pretend to be gay to be invited to the sleepover.
One of them actually did that.
They attempted, but I had...
Whoa. So he wanted to pretend to be gay to get invited to a girl's sleepover?
This is it. And he committed to the part. For about a week, he buddied up with one of the other...
He's a genius.
Well, that's what they thought they were geniuses.
I haven't grown up.
Good God. They thought they were so clever because for about a week, these two lads, I won't name them, but there was two lads who committed to the part and they would walk round holding hands.
No way.
Holding each other's book bags and saying, oh, goodbye, my love. And it was beautiful. The rest of our group and me pissing ourselves for going, oh, there's no way this is ever going to work. No way this is ever going to work.
That kind of effort deserves some reward.
They committed to the part. They really did.
Did they even kiss?
No, it was all very like French drama sort of kissing.
Implied gay.
Yeah, it was heavily implied. And they were like, oh, we'd be no risk at your sleepover. It'd be fine.
We'd be no risk.
And
that's the selling point. Like,
guys,
we're not going to attack you.
Because you had to state you'd be no risk. That makes you sound like you're going to be a risk.
Yes.
I unfortunately grasped them up, though, because I was like, just to let you know.
You ratted out your friends.
Well, it was more, they already clocked on. These girls weren't stupid.
Yeah.
They were also finding it absolutely hilarious how committed, because they wanted to see how long the girls could like drag it out, going, oh, well, if you're really gay, show us what you do if you're gay. And I think they were going to try and push it, and the boys probably would have pushed it for as far as they could go, so that it didn't fall apart. They did find out it was me, but I said, look, I've stopped you from doing something fucking stupid, because either you're going to go to that sleepover and get caught out for not actually being gay, or you're going to double down so much that they're not going to be interested in you at all because they think you're gay. Like, I don't understand. One day you just magically wake up and go, well, we were gay for a week, but today I've decided I am not gay and I quite like you. Wonderful. No.
Yeah, that's where the plan, it's like a bank robber kind of planning how to get the money, but not planning his escape.
This is it. And I was just like, I don't think you thought that through. And they were like, no.
It sounded so genius and the commitment.
And the thing is, I give them credit for that. And then once that all fell apart, they started to go for girls genuinely. But they kept going after the same particular girls who weren't, in my opinion, were nowhere near good enough for my group of lads, because I'd known these lads. I'd met their sisters, their mums, I'd been to parties with them, and these were the goodest guys I'd ever known.
Were they not going for you?
Well, we get to that.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
And after all of these like failed attempts with the popular girl, the wonderfully smart girl, all of these girls, they realised, oh, this really isn't working for us. Why is it not working for us? And I said, well, you've got to have things in common with them, but genuine things in common. Don't all of a sudden go, well, I really like whatever relevant band was irrelevant then. Don't. But then also don't follow her around like a little sad puppy dog either. Stop it. It's sad. Just be a genuine nice person how I know you to be, because you guys are wonderful. And I fucked up because I said, I love you all. You are all my bestest friends ever. You're the greatest guys I've ever known. I love you. And I think in their 14, 15, 16-year-old brain, they took it as, she loves me. And what I should have reiterated, going, they didn't hear the best friend part. Because I wasn't attracted to any of them, because I saw them as all as like my misfit brothers. And I should have seen back then that the reason I fit in with girls more, well, boys more, was because I kind of liked girls but didn't quite know what we were doing. Back then we had the one gay girl and the one gay guy. It wasn't really a sensible thing.
Yeah, people didn't come out till later, did they? Like, not at school, because
this is it.
Like everything, like gay was a slur, wasn't it? And everything was gay.
And the thing is, everything was gay. Doing PE, gay. And just, so I didn't realise back then, if I'd known the information I had now, gone back, we could have done stuff differently. But yeah, and then they all tried to get to me in a way, and then it just broke down. Our relationship. I ended up with no friends after that. No,
really?
I literally had...
What happened? They all just tried to get with you?
Well, what happened was the sort of, not ringleader, but like the main lad of the group was like, I'm going to try first. And then the rest, I found this out years ago.
It sounds like an In-Betweeners plot.
It is so much. I think as well, In-Betweeners was out when this was happening. So I'm wondering if they'd got their like magic, wonderful ideas from that show, which I really hope they didn't. And one of them was, he was my partner for drama. He was my partner for this, that, and the other. And he was probably the main one I spoke to a lot because we had so much in common. The same music. We were both the eldest of the family. So we knew the kind of struggles of going, oh, well, I can't hang out tonight. I've got to look after the siblings or whatever that was. And it just didn't work. We did try to date because I was like, well, maybe this is it. Maybe that is how you find a partner. I do really like him.
I have heard some people say that you know, the person
maybe my best friend is going to be my...
It'd be amazing if it was like that.
And it just didn't work because there was a level of control because I then weren't allowed to hang out with the other lads without him. The same lads that we've been friends with for years.
Oh, because he knew they also liked
this
you.
Is it. So I wasn't allowed to hang out with them without him present. He also didn't like me any longer wearing shorts or trousers. I had to wear skirts that came below my knee. And it was just these little things. And he wanted me to do thicker eyeliner. Like the girl he fancied before. He wanted me to do the same hair colour like the girl before. And it was all these little, so you couldn't get the one you wanted. So the one you have, you're going to slightly change to fit your image. And then at the age of I can't remember how old we were, but we were sitting there one day and he goes, right, so what do you think about marriage? I was like, a bit early for that. He went, no. Like, in a general way, you must have had an idea. I said, I really like the idea of a big princess wedding with this, that, and the other. And he went, I think you'd look so gorgeous. And he started dictating our future wedding. I'm thinking...
And how old is this?
I think we might have 14, 15, 16, in that age bracket. I thought it was just a general conversation of, you know, do you even think marriage is a thing? I think it was just more of a general conversation. I didn't realise he was planning it for next month and started to take it was just so weird. And I said, no, we just didn't agree on those sort of things. And then when it came to how many children and how many of these...
At 14?
At 14, this is what I'm also thinking, going, good God, this is a big girl conversation that I do not have the answers for. Because my answer was, well, I don't really want children. Because I'm 14, I haven't thought that far ahead.
But don't you find that young men, before they've had experience with girls, are much more romantic?
They were. He would think of me, he would come home with little gifts or he'd come home with little things.
Because they're playing a part. They're playing romance how they think it should be done.
It was more romance of how you've seen it in the film.
Yeah.
Than what romance means between two people can be different between another two people. So yeah, that's the grand old story of that. And then they all just started to not talk to me. I had no one to go to prom with.
Wow.
It had escalated from having at least 5 lads that we'd promised years ago we'd all go to prom together. All of us in a big solidarity because the whole thing was nonsense and silly, but we all still wanted to go anyway.
Just in between us.
Yes, exactly. And then, so after that, I got a different boyfriend. And he started off really lovely, but then I found out I was his charity case. And he was only being nice to me because I was the poor single mother council house girl. And he was rescuing me.
What?
He was rescuing me. So that ended quite quickly because I was just like, I don't need rescuing. You're an absolute massive bellend and you're still attached to your mum. Go away.
And he told you this thinking you'd be impressed by it?
Well, I didn't hear it personally. We'd stayed at a friend's house and it was a big, massive camp out. Let's bear in mind, these are all very posh private school kids.
Oh, okay.
Who looked down at their nose anyway at me, but I really wasn't that bothered. I was like, yeah, if I make you think that kind of way, you're thinking about it more than I am because I don't really care. But I was sleeping in my tent that I was sharing with my boyfriend at the time. And he said, I'm going to get out just to get us a drink and I'll be back. I was like, okay. So I was laying there and I heard him having a conversation with the girl I shouldn't be worried about. That girl who he could never get with because she had a boyfriend. and had made it very clear she was not interested in him. So once again, I am I've got you. I'm just going to change you in her image. And I literally hear him go, yeah, she's only here because I don't think she's ever hung outside of her house.
What?
And I don't ever think that she'll have an opportunity like this. So I'm really
An opportunity like this to hang out in a tent.
This is it. And I'm thinking, it's a fucking tent, mate. Like,
I love the arrogance of
this
just
is it. You're doing me a favour by putting me in a cold tent. Thanks. Thank you so much. And he goes, oh, because he's for lack of better words, a mummy's boy who was Catholic, heavily Catholic. Good God. Like, I wish I'd known that a little bit sooner before meeting all the family and the grandparents. Good God. And he goes, oh, I'm doing the Lord's work. I'm doing the Lord's work by saving her from a life of sin. And I'm thinking, mate, 20 minutes ago, I sucked you off. It wasn't so much a sin back then, was it? But now it's a sin. Oh, okay. And
really?
And we had this...
This happens in England?
Yeah, I mean... I don't know for everyone, but it happened for me. And I was like, right, I'm done with that one. Like, because you came across nice.
Would you count him as the nice guy type?
He was. He was very nice, charming, really lovely to be with. But once he had got me and we were in a relationship, it all changed. I wasn't allowed to see my old friends, not that I had any left, but because my old friends were boys, and I said, no, I don't hang around with them anymore. They're not but they could be a problem. I was like, I don't think they want to talk to me anymore, so I think we're fine. But yeah, the nice guy thing, it makes me sad because...
So do you think nice guys are really nice guys?
No. No. I think if you start out with the good intentions, then you're a good guy. But if you're nice for the sake of this may get me somewhere or something, that's not a nice guy at all. That is you're manipulative. Because it shouldn't be so hard to be nice to a person, whether you want to sleep with them or you want whatever you want from them. Being an actual nice person, whether it's guy, girl, however you want to identify, you shouldn't be nice with the intention of something. You should be nice for the intention of being nice to someone, because that's the only way this world is going to work.
Yeah, I see this from the other side, because like when I was younger, I was terrible with women. And obviously I was always trying to improve myself.
But when you say terrible, do you mean in a sense, like what do you mean terrible with women? Because I'm pretty sure you didn't go around beating them.
No.
Being horrendously horrible.
No. I just didn't know how to talk to them, how to get them interested in me. Plus I was like socially awkward. So like talking to strangers was difficult for me. Internet dating wasn't a thing back then. No. Don't forget. So like that's a crutch that a lot of people fall back on.
Meet people in actual living spaces.
Yeah. And I was terrible. I just didn't know how to talk to girls. I tried. But I would just crash and burn, and often I'd get people would like say, you know, oh, I'm nice, let's be friends.
Oh.
And this is like let's be friends is basically the I'm not attracted to you.
Yeah, and
but
the thing is, that is just what it is. That person is not attracted.
Yeah, and looking back,
it's a bit shallow.
I see why, and it's because I would have come across as desperate, I think. Because I think girls see that. So like, because when you are like trying to get someone and like you're putting a lot of effort in and a lot of effort and energy into being nice, let's say.
Thing is, though,
it looks artificial.
Because you've put a lot of effort into being nice.
Yeah, and you're trying to create a connection where there isn't one. And it's not that the girl might not reject you, but I think you've made like your move too soon.
Yeah.
So you've like gone too fast, and you should just be
bit too eager.
Yeah. In like, especially if you're non-threatening and you are nice, I was like, yeah, let's just be friends. You know, it seems like a likable person. A bit weird, but who cares?
Oh, it makes me sad though, because I do know of genuine nice guys. But I'm not even going to use that word anymore for these people. Good guys.
Yeah, there's a difference.
There is so much a difference. The good guys that I've known, not ignoring, but even good guys today, guys that I've worked with in my normal job before I did my now job, I've met them and they are genuine good guys.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they're sort of, well, I've tried this and I've tried that, and it's just not working. I'm fed up of being a nice guy. It's like, no. If you're being nice for the intention of that, that's not how we do it. That's not how you should do it.
What do you think their problem is?
I think that they come in it with too much expectation.
Mm.
Because relationships don't just happen. They take time to genuinely get to know someone. Because yes, they might look pretty. Yes, they might be to your looks standards and way of life standards. But if you don't know that, she's an absolute slob who lives about in her own squalor until you get with her, that's going to ruin this whole thing for you. So you need to find out those more intimate bits of knowledge of, do you have the same things in mind down the long run? Okay, maybe not talking about weddings and marriages and stuff, but
Yeah.
Are you both going to want to go on the same places on holiday? Are you?
I don't even think they know.
This is it.
They have no idea.
You have no idea because you wouldn't have ever asked that question.
It's just, oh, she's a girl.
She's a girl.
She spoke to me. She spoke to me.
And it makes me sad because I have seen it happen back when I worked at my job in a shop. Obviously, I'm wonderfully polite to all the customers because I have to be. But then I was also a genuinely nice, helpful person. And you'd see people going, oh, she spoke to me. I'm like, yep, your change is £15, please. Hello. Wonderful. There we go. Thank you very much. And it shouldn't be that shocking because I hate to tell you this, but women are just humans.
Yeah.
That's all we are. I promise you. There's nothing else more to think about it. So it's just trying to have more of a human connection with these people. And if you do that, you'll find out a lot sooner if you are even matched. Because for women, especially, personally for me, I much prefer someone's personality and their way of actually being rather than how much money, how tall, how built, how big.
Yeah, well, in research that I was looking at into nice guys, it says that stupid fly.
I know, I've got one invading me.
Where are they coming from? Okay, so yeah, in research on nice guys, it says that kindness is like one of the key drivers of attraction for women.
I want you to be kind to me. When we get together, I don't want to have any inkling that at a drop of the hat, you'll be horrible to me.
Yeah, and I think, and in the research, it's saying things like, if someone is like women are attracted to a man that treats them with kindness and respect, and like those things
and kindness is
go
so
together.
Hot. It's so hot. There is nothing hotter than someone who is.
Yeah, it said more attractive than money, career prospects, things like that.
You can make more money, you can get a better job, but if you're an absolute rubbish human being with no respect to anyone, I don't want that. You can keep your money and your fancy car and your wonderful job, but if you're just going to be horrible, I don't want to be that.
Well, I think, like I say, I think women do see through it if you're only being kind to them. And I think they see how you treat the other people around you and they're like, oh, okay, this isn't real.
Well, the biggest tell is how they treat their mum or the other women in their family.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
I've seen some lads who have just been outright disrespectful to their mum, that if I had said the same thing to my mum, she would have quite swiftly backhanded me. That would have been the end of that.
So mummy's boys were good as well then.
Well, but on the other spectrum of that, if there's too much of a connection, you're going to want to replace me.
It's the old mummy issues.
In your mummy issues. And then you're going to want me to be your mum. So you're not going to know how to pick up your own clothes. You're going to expect me to do everything. I'm not going to be your mum's replacement. I want to be your teammate, your partner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be the mother, the maid, and the whore, but I also don't want to be disregarded and disrespected. I am pretty, yes, but there's much more to it. So it's interesting to see how men interact with the other women in their lives. So like sisters, aunts, nans. I've known some people who, you know, they've got on relatively well with their mum, and then they are an actual nice person because they already have that respect for women, whether
Yeah.
it's women they want to be with or interact with. There's already that level of respect of, well, I treat all humans like a human. As long as you're not a bell end, I won't be a bell end to you.
Yeah, and this is the thing that the nice guys need to do is just slow down a bit and
Chill out.
observe the
Women-
girl as much as
this
she's
is
observing
it.
you, and be prepared to even reject her if it's not matching.
This is
Because
it. Like, don't rush. Yes, it's pretty. Yes, she's probably your eye standard of what you'd like in your future woman wife thing next to you. But don't rush. Women are not going to disappear.
yeah, I always think sometimes as well that we often want someone that's the exact opposite of us because we think they'll fix all of our kind of broken qualities.
But the only one who's going to fix it is yourself.
It's just pure incompatibility, isn't it?
Yep, and it's never going to work. It might look hot at the beginning, but if you're already coming into it with your own issues from previous relationships, previous
The
relationships,
private school memories coming back.
you're already doing it because you've not done that work onto yourself. And that's for women and men, and you know, whoever. You, before even thinking about, oh, I would love a relationship with someone, you know, kind of what makes you worthy of having a relationship.
Yeah, do you think a lot of nice guys are trying to get girls that are above them? Because
I think it's such a...
they'll often be nice to very beautiful girls.
Oh yeah, but
the guy that's being nice is like someone that doesn't put huge amount of effort into his appearance, doesn't go to the gym.
This is it.
Doesn't work hard. You know, he's not like, he's not a high achiever, but he's expecting to be nice, to make up for that with niceness.
Yeah, and that's also not going to work. It's really not going to work because later on down the line, those same kind of guys are going to, when that girl, I don't know, maybe she has a baby, maybe she stops getting her hair done because it costs an arm and a leg to get your hair done and your nails done. Maybe now that she's comfortable with you, she doesn't feel like she needs to put on such a big, presentable image of herself, and she's comfortable, she's happy. Those same men are going to be like, oh, you don't go to the gym anymore. Oh, after the kid, you've put on a bit of weight. You're going to start bringing her down to your level, so now you feel better about yourself because it's not just you who needs to go gym, it's also her.
Oh, does that? I've only heard of one person doing that before. I've heard of like one of my friends got with this guy and he was really insecure and he wanted her to get fat so that other guys wouldn't be interested in her.
Oh God, what a weird way.
She was like, no, good. I hope that was just a solid no as well. No explanation, just no. Yeah, she left that relationship.
Good. Yeah, this is what I mean. Before you get into a relationship, you need to look at yourself and think, am I even ready for a relationship? You might think you are because you're lonely and, you know, everyone else has a relationship and everyone else is getting their dick wet. Why aren't I? Well, why aren't you? What work have you put into yourself, personalities and looks-wise, to make you ready and available and presentable for a relationship? Because you expect the woman to have the same. You expect her to be of emotional stability, that she can be in a relationship, that she's got the physical presence that has attracted you in the first place, and doesn't come with a load of trauma and baggage that will now be your problem.
Yeah.
So you can't expect her to be so put together, she's ready, but you're not.
Yeah. And let's talk about the friend zone a little bit more, because does the friend zone really exist? Have you put guys in the friend zone?
Have I put friends in the guy zone?
I guess from a girl's perspective, you might just meet a guy and just think, oh, he's a nice friend, but not Like you think of it
it's
differently.
more
Don't you?
that if I can tell someone isn't going to take our friendship as a friendship, they're going to take it more in a way of, oh, I've got a little bit in.
Oh, I've got like a hook.
I've got a hook in. I will just be like, I have no interest in being with you because your
Do you
intentions.
see that happen?
Oh, you see it, and it's so obvious.
How is it obvious?
Just because you sort of, if you say to them, if they came on to you and said, oh, I'd love to take you out on a date, you go, right, what kind of date? And that seems to throw them a little bit.
They like drop hints.
And you're like, oh, okay, well, what kind of date? It's just more the intentions of how they word certain things. Or I had a lot of friends who used to fake interest into things, which was really confusing. Just, oh, I'm really into that band. Oh, okay. Do you wanna come see them with me? Oh no, couldn't do that. Ooh. And you just sort of think,
That's interesting.
if you're into it, you're into it. Or you get it the other spectrum where, you can just tell that it's not a genuine friendship, because a genuine friendship, you would be able to talk to that person about anything. Mm-hmm. And I've had friends before where I've gone, oh, you'll never guess what this boyfriend's done. Or, oh, this boyfriend's been really lovely to me, blah, blah, blah. And if you come to them with the problems, they're like, oh, sweetheart, you've got to leave him. This could be better. But when you start talking about the nice things, like, oh, he took me on this really lovely trip to bloody wherever, doesn't really matter. But he took me on this nice thing and we had a lovely day. That's how my week's been. How is yours? And you'll get the sharpest, bluntest, it's no longer a conversation. And you go, you're not really a friend. You're waiting for me to be heartbroken and hoping I'm going to be the one who comes running to you. And it's obvious to tell with just having a conversation if it's a genuine interest in that person, or do I want to know everything I can know about her so I can either manipulate myself or make that now my personality. But I've seen that with girls too, where they've got very little personality of themselves through however that's happened, just not enough confidence in themselves to be themselves, and they'll whatever lad they're with, so they might start off quite normal. I can't think of what normal is, but they're normal selves of how they would meet. They get with a boyfriend. Now maybe this boyfriend is a bit of a rough lad with all the neck tattoos and a bit gangstery, I think is the kind of word to use. They'll slowly turn into what that person needs to make that relationship happen. Or if it's a bad guy, they'll go along with the bad guy stuff, which has always confused me.
Malleable, I think.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what gender. The relationship needs to be genuine.
I think that's also why you need to pick partners carefully, because they do rub off on you.
Yeah. And the thing is, after so long of a time being with someone, yes, you might mold into some of the mannerisms or the way they speak or the way they eat their food, little things like that. But the whole personality shouldn't change, because that is your personality forever. That's what you should want in your person, because yes, they look pretty now, but things happen in life to change how you look. But if they've got a shitty personality now, they're gonna have shitty personality later, unless they have this magical turn of time. But most people don't. With a personality, you normally get stuck into it unless you do some real deep inner works on yourself.
Do you think it's even possible because you have guy friends, I guess, right? Had, not anymore. Do you think it's possible to have a genuine male friend? Because I don't know, I can't remember this name, but there's a guy on TikTok, and what he does, he just finds random couples at the mall, and he asks them, is it possible for boys and girls to be friends? And he gets the girlfriend to call her best male friend and ask like a kind of saucy question.
Yeah.
And the male friend that's supposedly just her bestie always like wants the date or wants her to come over, and he thinks like, yes, this is my moment.
He's finally got it. I think you can, because I do have. There's not many of them. I know these.
I don't know where they're coming from, and it's always one at a time.
Just one, a small attack throughout this podcast. I think that you can have genuine male friends or female friends, depending on your sex and whatnot. But it takes a lot more. That person has to be genuinely in for it for the relationship of being a friend.
Yeah.
I don't like this idea that men and women put each other into a friend zone, because being someone's friend should mean a lot more to you. Like,
It's
we all want to have friends.
It's a very important relationship, your friends. Most people don't have many genuine friends.
No, I've probably got...
Like, everyone knows a lot of people.
I know a lot of people, but genuine friends that I could call up and go, hi, how's your week been? Or, oh, good God, this has happened. I've probably got 2. Genuine, solid friends who are there to be friends.
Yeah, I think something like the average person has about 7 close relationships in their life, something like that.
So, like, you just got going with being a genuine person, because that will last you forever.
Yeah, I'm someone that does have a lot of female friends. I think maybe because of I've done jobs where I work with a lot of women. But I've always found I can't really be friends with a girl if I'm attracted to her. So if I'm attracted to her, like genuine attraction, not like just she's hot.
Really hot, love her.
But if I'm genuinely attracted to her, I can't be her friend.
But is that in a sense of you're worried that you'll ruin the relationship, or because you're attracted to her, it's not gonna go anywhere?
I would feel it's not genuine.
Yeah.
I would feel like, oh, I'm just trying to be her friend, like hoping that something happens.
But would that be your intention?
No, if I'm genuinely attracted to someone, I would get to know them.
Yeah, like you should.
But I just, get to know them, hang out more and more. And, and then when it feels right,
maybe have it.
I don't know, like the way I don't really, I have like a kind of routine now, I guess, because I'm so used to it. Yeah, like I've always found that if you, if you try and speed things along, then it doesn't work. So I just whatever pace it's going at.
This is it.
And my pace is always just
for?
And I never say like, oh, I've got the intention of dating you, or I've got the intention of this. I just get to know them.
Yeah,
and
but the thing is, you don't need to voice it unless she obviously goes, what are your intentions? But I don't think
we're
not the 19th.
I would have conversations about relationships and like what people want, what she wants, what I want, but I would just get to know them. And then, okay, it might happen in 1 day or it might happen in 3 days.
Yeah.
But generally it'll be like, oh, do you want to come meet my cats? And
that's the cat line, is it?
If they want to come see my cats, I'm pretty sure that she has.
Oh, you do have cats,
I do have cats.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Just
They're
double
very
checking.
cute cats as well.
I love that idea of just going, do you want to come back and see my cats?
Yeah, it's just... I don't know. I just find it easier to say than, do you want to come back to my place?
Yeah, do you want to come back to my place and see my bed? Meet my cats. Yeah, no, I like that. That's sweet. But now there's going to be loads of people using that.
That's
and
true.
Loads of people getting cats.
Loads of people buying cats.
Just so they've got a cat back home to go, no, honestly, look,
it sounds funny, but I just think it's just...
No, it's a nice, genuine way to...
I just don't want it just sounds a bit sleazy to be like, oh, do you want to come to my place?
Do you want to come back to mine?
Yeah. But should we come back tomorrow and meet my cats?
I like that.
It's like, I don't know.
To be honest, you'd have most girls going, you've got cats? Yes. Tell me all of the names and send me all of the pictures.
I've usually subtly showed photos by this point.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful.
It's a routine.
I love it.
It keeps me grounded, It sounds funny. So yeah, I'm not convinced a friend zone exists, but I do think that, if you do have a friendship with a female, that it's a rare thing for most guys, and like you should take it and take the opportunity.
What is the problem with having friends?
Yeah.
Everyone seems so upset. Oh, she's put me in the friend zone. Well, you ungrateful dick. You can get out of the friend zone. Don't be my friend anymore.
I think if a girl wants to be friends with you and you want to be friends with her, then you should value it.
Friends are great. Think of all the times you wanted to go do a thing.
And for
but you
me,
can't.
Think how many other female friends she's got that, like, when I go hang out with my female friends, when it's their birthdays or a party or something, there's so many hot girls
There's so many
there
other girls,
that
and you
know,
get invited.
yeah, and they
'cause
know
you're
I'm a good
friend.
person. Yeah,
This
it's
is
like,
it.
yeah,
And then that helps your case even more if another girl can go, do you know what? He is a good guy. He's a
yeah.
good guy. I've known him for years. That's why he's invited. He's a good guy. That's the key word.
And I think with girls, if a girl's interested in you, she'll let you
She'll
know.
make it goddamn
Like, 'cause
clear.
she'll be talking to you so much, sending you things.
You'll almost go, oh,
like,
fucking hell.
yeah, you'll get a bit annoyed.
You get annoyed.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I've also seen men completely miss that the girl was into you. And
I used to be like
I was
that.
going to say,
I used
I'm
to be
looking
like
at you
that
going,
so
I
much.
bet you have. I bet
Absolutely.
some girls have been practically draping themselves
because
over you.
Because I wasn't confident and I didn't know.
And that's, you got to have confidence in yourself, because there is someone for everyone. Everyone is someone's cup of tea, especially with my job. I've learnt that everyone's into something.
Yeah, and I've learnt that it doesn't necessarily matter what the girl looks like. Just
No.
it's random which girls are attracted to me. They can be
This is
beautiful or hideous, something in the middle.
This is because
But
most
it's
girls
just
as
random.
well. Yes, it's just the same as men. We look at each other and go, "Ah, you are pretty, or you're hot, or you're handsome," which is the interesting part.
Well, especially in person, there's all the chemicals, the pheromones going, and
This is
it's
it.
different. And there's the halo effect, so who your friends are depends on how attractive you are as well.
Yeah, there's the whole sort of thing. Yeah, I have no idea what our point was, but the friend zone.
The friend zone.
Yeah, it's not real, and you should be fucking grateful that you're someone's friend in the first place.
It's hard to make a friend.
It's hard to make friends. It's
like
easy to
genuine
go around
friends.
fucking people.
Yeah.
That's not difficult. But to make a genuine friend in someone is, because I've known girls who have had groups of friends of lads and women, and the second they stopped doing a particular thing that brought those friends in. So I've known a lot of girls who are stoners.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll have all of the friends who'll come round once the weed's flowing and the papers are flowing. But the second that girl gives up for health reasons, or she wants to have babies, or whatever happens, those friends disappear. So they were never friends in the beginning. Or girls who go out drinking on the weekend, they'll have a big group of friends to go out drinking with, and they'll know half the town. But the second that person stops drinking, those people want nothing to do with the person who's not drinking.
Yeah,
now.
you know who your real friends are when you
This is
have
it.
some tragedy or difficulty in your life, for sure.
And that's it.
That's when
and
you know.
that's when you find your real friend. And there's nothing sadder going, oh shit, I didn't have a real genuine friend.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not real. It's not
In my
real.
year.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, really.
No, that's all right. I had that realization moons ago. Absolute moons ago. I just gave up in the end.
Well, that brings us on to the next topic quite nicely. So, nice guys versus fuck boys. Like, I've got some theories on this, but
Thing is, what is the definition of a fuck boy? Because I
think
know
a player, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just a modern way of saying it.
Oh, okay. Cool. I mean, it makes sense, but
It sounds cooler.
it
I didn't know it was a negative thing. I was like, oh, how do I be one of them?
No.
That sounds good.
No, I think
I think a lot of nice guys want to be fuckboys.
yeah, but I don't think they realise that a fuckboy is also not getting that intimate relationship.
Yeah, I think people often think that a fuckboy has a lot of sex, but he doesn't. He just has a lot of partners. No one has more sex than a married couple.
Exactly. Like if it's a good, happy relationship as a married couple, it is on tap. The thing is, you don't want to be either.
Really?
And
I think a lot of I wonder if nice guys, because they're so focused on getting sex, because they're not having sex, they're being rejected a lot, that once they do work out how to have sex, that they're the ones that become the fuckboys.
Is it like an evolution?
Yeah, it's like
you've leveled up as a
it's
Pokemon.
a caterpillar turning into
a
butterfly. Yeah.
I think they've both got their own thing. Is it's not good to be a nice guy. They're not genuine good guys, because you are not going to get what you want. Because I'm hoping what you want is a relationship at the end.
Mm.
The fuckboys.
And to be fair, just for people that don't know you, like you have like a long-term relationship.
Yeah, a long-term relationship of 11 years.
Yeah, and people don't expect that from
No, they
someone on
expect me to
OnlyFans.
either be some poor. Well, this is the funny thing with finding out that I'm in a relationship. Most people go, "Oh, that's nice, cool." Other guys are like, "How could you?
How could you?
How could you do that to me?" And it's like,
What?
"How have I done that to
Who
you?"
says your fans?
The fans. So I've had 2 wonderful stories of this. So one story is I had a guy who I've never met. I've never met any of my fans. I lie. I've met one, but that was we were just weirdly walking past each other in London. Like the coincidences of that happening.
Yeah.
Ridiculously strange, but a lovely guy. So that was fun. I had one guy from Sweden who had thought for the last 5 years we were in a relationship.
What?
Now, let's bear in mind, from this time, there is no way I legally would have been allowed to be in a relationship with that person because I would have been underage.
Mm.
So I stated that to him. And he was like, no, we've been together for 5 years. And I was really confused because I was like...
And this was from...
He was from Sweden. At this point in time, I've never been to Sweden. I've never met this person either. Let's just put that out. Never met him. Never known of him. And he came up on my Twitter one day just going, "How are you, my lovely wife?" And I thought it was more just a funny little Twitter thing.
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm wonderful. Thank you very much." And he goes, "Oh, I can't believe it'd be our 5-year anniversary tomorrow." And I was like, "Hold on. No, it's not.
Mm.
Nope. No, stop that." And he just went mental. He started reporting all of my social medias, all of my websites,
Wow,
reporting
so
me, like just trying to ruin my life because I somehow managed to cheat on him in our 5-year relationship. I was really confused how I'd managed to do that. Then I had another guy in America, older gentleman, also once again, never been to America, never met this man either.
Mm-hmm.
He was convinced that we had also been in a relationship for 5 years, but I would have
Insane.
legally been allowed to be in a relationship with him. And he was convinced that I had asked him for money, that I had been talking to him.
Had he been catfished?
He'd been catfished by someone.
Yeah.
And I said to him, because he was telling me about me information that was wrong. Like he was going, "Well, I've sent you shoes." He would send me random things on my Amazon wish list and stuff like that to me. And I said, "Oh, that's not what I would have wanted because I'm not a size 5. I'm a size 6. He went, "No, you're not. You're definitely a 5. And I'm like, "Oh, good God. No, I'm definitely a size 6. I have been for a very long time. And the rest of my shoes would disagree with your statement." He was telling me what bands I liked. And I was like, "No, definitely not a Madonna fan. Sorry to tell you that. I don't hate Madonna, but she's not my go-to listening." And he was so adamant, and he really wouldn't take, "No, sorry, sir. I really think you've been had, mate, because I'm a British model who's never been to America." And he goes, "Oh, no, you were going to come see me. I gave you money for tickets." I was like, "It wasn't me."
You know, one of the sad things as well is all the catfish, I think, make girls realize that sometimes they're not asking for enough money because, like, I spoke to someone that had been catfished by a friend's account recently, and this person was sending the catfish more every month than what the girl was making on her entire OnlyFans.
See, what I'm just going to say now is don't send money
to
random people. Send it through an actual affiliated with that face's picture.
Well, I think it's a really great thing that Twitter accounts are verified now.
Yeah, but anyone can get verified.
But it is verified though. So your catfish account can't get verified in theory.
It has though.
Because they need your ID, don't they?
Just got to pay £11. Then you're verified.
Oh, they don't do any checks?
No.
Because I just verified on Instagram and they checked my ID. But I can't remember how the Twitter one did.
Instagram seems to check.
Yeah.
But what's annoying is obviously my real name is not my modelling name.
Chloe Toy's not your real name?
I know, the outrage. Sorry to have lied to you all for so long. But yeah, it's not the same. So Instagram won't actually verify me because obviously my ID doesn't say my work name. Twitter, I just need to give them £11 a month.
Yeah, that's stupid.
That's it.
I thought there was more to verification on Twitter.
No. Just have to give them £11 and then I am me, which is great. But I've already had it where a fake account on Twitter has paid £11 to be the official me. So then obviously when you've paid to be official on Twitter, you can go, hello, Twitter. This account is pretending to be me.
Yeah.
I know they're official, but they're really not official. I promise you, I am me with my 40K, whatever the following is.
That's a great conversation. I am me.
I am me, honest. Please believe me. And Twitter just went, nope, you're both you. I was like, Twitter, that's not.
Yeah, Instagram really thought theirs through a lot more, but I'd like to see businesses and stage names be allowed to be verified.
This is it. If I send you an ID and it's clearly got my face on it, and that face matches the pictures, guess what? That's probably me. But then what Instagram used to do, I don't know if they still do it, they did something really off, that if you reported someone pretending to be you would have to send your ID to them, to Instagram. But then in the small text that you have to read, it's one of those, I agree, consent. I actually read it because I'm one of those people. And it says this ID will be sent to the person who is claiming to be you, who you're reporting.
Seriously?
So you will give the person who's I'm reporting about being me, you'll send them my ID. So now they'll have a copy of my ID.
And they'll be able to open OnlyFans and
like
everything.
It just didn't make any sense. I was like, how does that help? Surely you should ask both of us to send it to you.
Yeah.
Because surely only one of us can send you the ID.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I was like, do you know what, Instagram? Me and you aren't friends anyway after my 4th account has been removed.
Oh, I got deleted last year as well.
It's so easily done. I got reported because I had a picture of my naked foot next to a teacup.
Mine was for...
It was too sexual.
One of my guests being misogynistic.
It's a bit rude, but that should have been more of a warning. That should have been.
Yeah, I got 2 Instagram accounts deleted just overnight. It was mad. But it was deserved, I think.
I mean, maybe. But
it wasn't me saying it, but I get why they did it.
Yeah. It's more to cover them. Whereas I got told off for having a picture next to just my foot and a cup of tea. They're like too sexual activity.
You know, they're more strict on feet pictures than they are on lingerie.
I didn't bloody realise that.
Yeah.
I thought a foot was innocent, but then I should have remembered that it's not.
Yeah.
But it was more of a kind of... I can't remember what it was doing.
I think the way it works is if there's more than a third of the image with skin tones, it gets auto-flagged. Yeah. So if you're far away enough, it's...
But it's all right to wear a sheer top with your nipples hanging out. That's cool.
Not really. It's not.
That's all I've seen.
That's against the rules, but...
It's against the rules, but...
Yeah.
Different rules, different people.
Well, let's not complain too much about Instagram. So nice guys and fuckboys is the... Because I guess the thing with fuckboys is that they've learned how to seduce a girl.
They've learned the game.
And how to pretend in a good way.
Yeah. And they're still shitty people.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to aspire to be either.
But I think a lot of nice guys, like when you're chasing a girl and she rejects you, but then she gets with someone that you know is a dickhead.
Oh, yeah, I know. Like this whole, I don't know how into it you are, the sort of chads and mega chads and that sort of thing. It's so hard to explain properly because yes, you might think you're a nice guy, but as we've already established, nice guy doesn't equal good guy. That's just not. But then the fuckboy already knows the game. He's already been where you were. Like we said earlier, he's leveled up to being the fuckboy.
Yeah, because you've got to start somewhere, haven't you?
You have, but he's already worked out the game. And the thing is, if that woman is so easily drawn to the fuckboys, one, she was never going to be interested in you anyway. So you're just barking up the wrong tree there. And if she's too into the fuckboys and that's all she goes for, she's either dealing with her own personal trauma or hasn't quite worked out that those kind of men are fuckboys and aren't worth your time.
Yeah.
It's more her sort of thing and that's her own problem.
Yeah.
So it's not someone you
nice
want
guys,
anyway.
They get so offended by it. And
Don't let it offend you. Some of these girls, I'm going to get cancelled for saying this, but some of these girls don't know how to have a good relationship. They don't know what they want. and they don't take the time to look into themselves. They're always going from next boyfriend to next boyfriend to next boyfriend, hoping that the next will be better.
And it could be that the guy's not a dickhead. You just think he's a dickhead because...
Well, this is it. If you just think he's a
Because you're
dick
not
because she buggered off with him, that's a you problem. That, like, you need to do some inner work on yourself for that. That's, you know, makes me sad.
Yeah. I was going to talk about online, but I think maybe you don't have so much experience with that.
Not really. Obviously, I know friend stories from both spectrums of it, and it's just a horrible place. Like, I think if I was to have to do online dating again, I bloody wouldn't bother. I think I would just become the crazy bird lady. I don't think I'd ever dare, because it just looks like an absolute minefield.
Well, I think the mistake people make is they join dating apps. I think unless you're looking for something specific, like say like polyamorous or something kinky, then it's better to just use Instagram. Because on Instagram, I found that just if you're interested in the same things, you make connections and start conversations anyway.
You can get an idea of...
It's more like the real world.
Yeah. Already you get the idea that that girl goes to the same festivals, or she's doing up her car,
or you're at the same gym, or whatever you're tagging.
You're already finding common... You already know enough of the boring small talk to go, oh, you know, I've saw that you were doing this. You can have more of a genuine conversation because you've already got a little bit of information. You haven't got to do that hard work and go, oh shit, what am I meant to say? What am I meant to do? You already know that she drives this car, she goes to the gym, she likes the green drink from Starbucks, you know. You already know a bit of information to work with.
Yeah. And like you either get on or you don't.
Yeah. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with that. That is fine.
Yeah, I met a crazy hot girl by just doing a food review on a restaurant on my Instagram, and I panned the restaurant, trashed it, and she was like, finally, someone's speaking the truth.
See,
and it was just that's how you bond, isn't it?
One little moment of finding a common connection, a common interest,
or common hate,
or a common hate.
Yeah, just dunking on someone.
This is it.
Yeah, so I think online's good, but I think you can be too nice online as well, and
I think you're trying too hard because it's so easy to type the correct thing.
It's so easy to just like respond with like, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so hot to every story she posts.
Yeah. And it's boring. I mean,
yeah, and that's what the nice guys do, isn't it? They're more like simps.
I don't want that. I don't want, hi babe, how are you? That's boring. That's not a conversation.
Because you get a lot of
I get a lot of them.
Messages on Instagram.
People go, oh, you never replied to me. But I'm talking to a guy at the moment who's planning to go to Japan, and he's got some chickens.
And you just have interesting conversation, right?
He has an interesting conversation about the same things we're into. At no point has he gone, oh, you're gorgeous, and bombarded me with a load of emojis. He's gone, hey, do you want to see my chicken? And it's a picture of a chicken. And then he told me about his chickens. Then he told me about his job and what he does. Just a normal conversation that I could have with anyone in the street. I don't reply to the, hey, beautiful, or the HBU. I had to Google that.
Oh, how about you?
How about you?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what that means. I had to Google it. And then there's a few of them that I've had to message one of my brothers and gone, I'm so sorry, but what does this mean? And he's like, I don't want to tell you. I'm like, no. Now you don't want to tell me. I definitely need to know. I can't remember what it was, but it was like gross and grotesque.
Yeah.
And I thought, you're just randomly sending that to me on Instagram. But you can't even bother to write the whole sentence.
So what kind of messages do you reply to?
Interesting shit. If you go to me, hi Chloe, I've seen that you've got a massive Nintendo collection. Let's talk about it.
Do you know how many messages you're going to get with
That's
that exact same?
I will join in on that. But the only way I will reply to it is if it's interesting.
Yeah.
Don't just state a fact to me. Yes, I know I have a collection. But what of that collection caught your eye? What has made it interesting? I'm giving you pointers on how to have a conversation with me.
Yeah.
And I bet you most of them still won't.
Yeah, I always wait for, if I follow a hot girl, I usually wait for just her to post a story with something that I care about. And sometimes she won't. And I'll just unfollow after a while.
It's like, you're boring now.
Yeah, because there's nothing, there's no common interest.
Because the one thing I hate is when people use the free platforms like Instagram and Twitter and stuff to go, hi babe, do you want to talk sexy? No, I don't do that for free.
No.
There are platforms you can go where I will happily do that by the minute. But if you want to have a conversation with a person, we need to have the same interest. And my interest isn't getting in your pants, funny enough. It's not that. But it's also, people also need to be aware as well. I would, and most models would never ask you for money. We'd ask you to sign up to stuff.
Yeah, you'd like to say, I've got some content.
I've got some content. I've got some clips. But we'd never go, I'm short on my rent. I need £1,000, please. Thank you very much. No.
Yeah.
But we would have a genuine conversation. Obviously, most girls are very busy. So don't hate us if you've sent a message and then 2 seconds later we haven't immediately replied. It's not because we're ignoring you.
Yeah.
It's because we're working and we have a life. And it's
even I don't reply to everything anymore.
If I replied to everything, I would never leave.
I get the weirdest messages though, because I get so many messages from guys with like shirtless pics wanting me to help them get into porn or something like that.
Thing is, I get that as well. And I'm like, I don't know. I think you're talking to the wrong person, mate. I can tell you, considering all I've ever done is solo toy and girl, I could tell you how to put a toy in you, but I don't think that's what you want, is it?
I always send them to an article I wrote recommending that if guys want to get started in porn, to try gay porn first.
This is it. Try that first.
Yeah, I was like, that's where the demand is.
If you can survive that, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because an actual proper porn set will eat you alive.
Oh, I think gay porn is pretty difficult too. But
this is it.
It's easier to get in.
Well, yeah, because there's an actual demand of it.
Yeah. Is there a dark side to nice guys? Like, do you think
yes.
Do you think nice guys, do you think it can be manipulative or entitled or?
Yeah, I mean, we all know the stories of, I held the door open for her, so therefore she must suck my dick there and then. But I've had
things like that?
Kind of. I've had it where this guy was, looking back at it now, obsessed, but I did not see such obsession. I just thought part of my little college group, he wasn't the main part of it, but would linger with us. And when he found out that I had a partner, he made it his life mission to prove how wonderful he was and how shit he was.
Wow, what sort of things did he do?
Well, what he was doing is he was sending him hateful messages, sending him horrible things to his messages.
Nice.
But saying horrible things about me, which was very fucking stupid to do. He was saying how, first of all, it was like, you don't deserve her. I could treat her better. What was the funniest line, and we still giggle about this today, is, I'm going to be your kryptonite. And he kept going on about this whole like Marvel and DC analogy.
That's so cheesy.
It was such like a childish argument. And I was like, I am no damsel to be rescued. You've got this. I've never said a bad word about him to anyone because there isn't. Obviously, I've moaned about dishwashers and pants not going in the right section, but I'm not that bent up about it, really.
Yeah.
But he's made it his life mission to be a dick to him, but fake nice to me. And there was one time where Did
that cause friction? Like where
it caused me to proper put him in his fucking place, because there was one day what was it? Oh, that was it. My lighter had stopped working. I was smoking back then. My lighter had stopped working. And he goes, here's a lighter, which you would do for any other smoker. Like, it's not, I've had random people come up to me going, have you got a lighter? And I still do, weirdly.
That's the best thing about smoking. It's the community.
It's the community. And he goes, oh, thank you. So I lit my cigarette. And he went, so where's my kiss then? I was like, oh, shut up. Like, I thought he was giggling. I thought we were having a joke. Kind of a bit creepy,
isn't it? Like, quid pro quo.
And his face, his whole demeanour changed. He went, no, I did a nice thing for you. You do a nice thing for me. And I was like, the nice thing I'm going to do for you right now is not punch you in the fucking face. There's your lighter. Fuck off. Never talk to me again. It's my phone partner. And I was like, you'll never guess who's been an absolute bellend. And he went, was it this guy? And I went, yeah, I just, know. And he sent me screenshot. And this has been happening for months.
Wow. Your partner seems very patient.
Well, he was finding it hilarious because he's a bit of a troll himself.
Okay.
So he's probably winding him up in his own troll-like funny manner of, mate, this is not going to work for you.
Or letting him think he has a chance even.
This is it. It's just funny. And he was just being funny back to him in his normal self way. And I was thinking, this has been going on for months and he's been horrible. And he's getting horribler and horribler, saying, I'm going to take her.
And so is this quite common? Do a lot of girls have these situations where a guy tries to like be nice to them and expects something back?
And when it doesn't go their way.
Is the common one when a guy buys dinner, for example, and then expects
Well, I've
to
had
go
it with
home?
drinks. I've had it where I've gone out with friends.
I'm always thinking of food.
I am as well.
So,
But I've had it where I've gone out with a group of friends. There is a redeeming story to this as well. There is a bright light to this. Another one. I've had it where someone has bought me a drink and they've not asked, which has always pissed me off. Don't come at me with a random drink that I've not seen you made and not seen where you've pulled it out or what you've done to it. Because my immediate reaction for all of that is going to be, no, thank you.
yeah, I mean, girls are kind of trained in this, aren't they?
Yes, you don't just take a random drink off a stranger, no matter what it is. So it annoys me before. It's like, I've already assumed that you wanted this drink. Well, maybe I don't like that drink. You haven't even taken the time to go, hi there, can I buy you a drink? You've not even taken that time. Because what if you buy me a drink I fucking hate? I can't stand whiskey. If you give me a glass of whiskey or anything with whiskey, I will immediately puke. That's not your reaction, what you want. For a girl to give a girl a drink, bleh, that's not what you want.
Yeah, also, no one wants to not be given a choice over the drink.
This is it.
Like, you wouldn't say to a guy, here's a drink.
Here's a
You'd
drink.
be like,
deal with it.
what do you want to drink?
Yeah, what do you fancy to drink? Even now that with my partner, I know what he would drink wherever we'd go. But I go, would you?
Yeah, I mean,
you want a
it's like the most basic British etiquette is, what do you want to drink?
Along with saying sorry and making a tea for every situation.
Yeah. The flies are ridiculous.
Oh, honestly, it's just this odd random little fly with his little fly army.
Yeah. No, that's weird.
One redeeming story. I went out with a friend, just me and her in London, and we met a group of American guys, and they were the loveliest. Most
Americans
respectful.
are much more polite.
Oh, they were wonderful.
Yeah.
I almost felt like I was encroaching on their happy time, but they came up and said, we're not coming on to you. We don't want that. We were just saying, could we buy you a drink and hang out with you? Because there was like bar games to play.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff to do with other people. And we were having a little laugh and a giggle, but it was the most genuine interaction with other men that I've had, where I've not, at no point did I feel threatened. They came over very, very gentle, very calm men that just wanted to talk to other people. There was no, and after this, I'll take you back. No, there was none of that. We went from one bar to another bar and they walked and escorted us there. There was even a situation where I was having a little dance with one of them and some scraggy looking British guy came up to me and went, that's my missus. I was like, fucking excuse me? I don't fucking think so. And the guy went, that's really confusing because she's been my wife for the last 10 years. And he played into it with me to protect this absolute idiot because that's not how you approach that situation. Just being that nice, genuine guy. We had a wonderful time with his three friends. And it was the nicest, genuinest interaction. They wanted nothing more. And they also made sure that we got in a cab back. And we also weirdly made sure they got into one afterwards. We were like, are they okay? Yeah, because they were a little bit worse for wear than we were.
Yeah, they can't drink as well as us, can they?
Well, this is what we found out through the whole thing. Because I'm drinking wine like it's water. My other friend's doing some sort of vodka and something or gin and something. And these boys are knocking back shots with a shot and beer. And I'm thinking, this is not going to go well. And then they were like,
beers are so weak, aren't they?
This is it. I don't think they realised how strong our beers are and how filling they are as well. Like
plus, it will sound really dumb, but like first time I went to America, I remember seeing a British bar advertising with big pints. Because an American pint is smaller than a British pint.
I was about to say, what's a big pint? Because I'm thinking, what's a big pint?
Big pints.
Now I want a big pint, but if it's just the same as an actual pint, I'm not that interested.
Yeah, so, big pints.
Last thing. So
It's the one area of life where everything's bigger in England than
this is
in
it.
America.
Well, no, in Spain they do like the weird foot pint, don't they? Like a boot
Oh, the
pint.
boot thing's quite a European thing.
Yeah, which confused me because I'm thinking, how are you washing that?
I think it's just more of a trick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Drink it. Yeah. So let's talk about sex and sex and relationships with nice guys. Do you think it's possible, or do you think the nice guy has to evolve before you can even do it?
I think you should.
You should evolve.
I'm not going to tell you to do things because I'm a woman and you won't listen to me anyway.
Have you ever had sex with a nice guy?
No, but that's because I've already clocked you as being a nice guy and I don't want to be a notch in your belt.
Have any of your friends ever had sex with a nice guy?
Yeah, to their own sort of detriment of going, good God, I thought he was a nice guy. But, and then it turns into this story of like, oh shit, that doesn't sound very nice of him, does it? You've got to evolve. This whole nice guy theory, like I get it, I do. Being awkward, girls can be intimidating, girls can be mean and bitches. Trust me, I personally know. I work with them. I never got along with them as friends. I have female friends. I have mum and sister. Like I know how shitty women can be. I get it. However, if you're also a shitty man, you're still going to be a shitty man. Like there's no... You have to have redeeming features just like this woman has to have redeeming features.
So how do nice guys improve? Is it that, because obviously I guess they don't see themselves, they don't see their own negatives, do they need some sort of wake-up call? How do they have it?
That the nice guys will go, oh, she's not talking about me. I'm a genuine nice guy. The fact that you have to call yourself a nice guy flags that you're not a nice guy.
Yeah, I always find it's like those people that advertise how honest they are. They're the biggest liars ever.
You're such a liar. You're not that honest. You know, the blunt people, if people go, I'm very blunt, they're normally a dickhead because they just say it how it is very rudely. But I think with the nice guys, you have to, you're not going to like this. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But you're going to have to look into yourself. And do some actual work. I'm not saying go to therapy, although it wouldn't be a bad idea for some of you. Therapy. Work through some shit. I promise you, the more work you do on yourself, the more you will find out about yourself and what you would like in a partner. Not superficial shit of, I'd like her to be hot and have boobs. That's not going to be a lasting relationship.
The thing that helped me was just, as I got older and tried to keep learning and improving, I became more self-confident.
You have to be confident in yourself because women look at confidence and kindness and respect a hell of a lot more than what you're making and what you're doing.
Yeah, and I think also if you know other guys, like everyone has a guy in their friend group that is popular with girls, and you can just look at what they're doing different. Often it won't be that they're, more attractive, but they probably make more effort with the gym and their clothes and dressing, presenting themselves well. And then also a thing I noticed, like, let's say when I lived in London, one of my friends that would get with girls quite easily, he was just an incredibly nice person, but he was incredibly nice to everybody.
This is it. Like, you can't just be nice to the hot girls you want to fuck. You have to be nice to everyone.
Every like just walking down the street with him, like everybody knew him, every guy, every girl, because he was just interested in people and remembered things. And when someone got pregnant, he would buy a pushchair for them or something like that.
This is what I mean. Genuinely nice people.
And he didn't want anything for it.
No, because he's genuinely nice.
Very, very loved guy.
He's doing it to be a nice person. Because I always like the idea of this whole karma of, if you're a good person with the intention of being good, your life will be good. If your intentions are to be good for maybe bad reasons.
Yeah, well, I guess in a way, the nice guys, they're selfish.
Yeah, you're thinking of yourself.
Yeah.
So then when that girl thinks of herself, it's the same thing. She's being selfish for herself. You're being selfish to yourself,
Mm.
and you are no better because you're doing exactly the same thing. But if you're an actually good person with good intentions, that will get you so much further than, oh, I'm nice. Cool. Plus, also, what am I going to do with nice? Cars are nice. Bras are nice. Shoes are nice. Not many people want nice in their guy. They want good. They want respectful. They want hygienic, which I'm telling you now is such a low bar to even go, have you showered? Wonderful. You're already above so many people.
Really?
Because it seems like men have this idea that they don't have to be as put together. Now, I'm not saying...
Why are you saying this? I'm really surprised.
I've just met a lot of guys doing this, my new line of work. Not new line of work, I'm doing it for the last however long now. But the amount of guys that I've worked with, either photographer-wise, videographer-wise, all the spectrums of the thing that goes on behind the scenes, and they've never been to a dentist. And I mean, never. They've never thought about showering, wearing deodorant, doing anything with their hair. Now, I'm not saying every day you need to be an immaculate, put-together human person, but showering needs to be like bare minimum. It's like when I go to the conventions, I used to go to...
And even though we're sat far apart, I just freshened up before you arrived because and it's not like it just out of sheer embarrassment, you know. I don't want to be stinking after a
It's
train
all right.
journey.
We've been far too British to say anything anyway.
Yeah. Well, this could explain the flies.
This is it. No, I think they're just random office flies.
Yeah,
when I used to a convention called Hyper Japan, which is very anime in London.
Yeah.
And I'm quite happy to take a picture of anyone. One, as long as you're respectful, and two, as long as you don't take the fucking piss. This isn't a photo shoot.
You were in cosplay?
In cosplay? Yeah. It's really cute. Really, really cool. I love doing it because it's a day out, because I love all the cosplays. So it's nice to actually wear them outside and see people go, oh my God.
Yeah, my friend goes to that, and he's like this giant black guy. He's like 6'6", and he's a monster. He's into bodybuilding.
Yeah.
But he collects comic books.
Oh,
so
I
he
love
goes
that.
he goes for that.
Oh,
and he sees like
so
people
cute.
dressed as the Hulk, and he always shoulder presses them.
I love it.
It looks so funny, him like shoulder pressing this like Hulk.
Oh, bless.
And it must be quite humiliating for the
Definitely.
guy.
And I bet it was no sweat to your friend either. It's
No,
just like, this is every day, mate.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, when I've met people at the conventions, you just smell. And it's not always got a little bit sweaty.
But is that because of the cosplay, maybe?
No. These guys that have come up to me never wear a cosplay. They are there in their normal drab. And it smells like that has been their normal drab for forever.
Yeah.
And it's even just the bare minimum of having a shower, guys, brushing your teeth. These should be things you're just doing to look after yourself. But it goes back to having your own self-worth, your self-image, your self-confidence. Trust me, you're going to feel so much better after having a good shower or bath, or even just running through a sprinkler, something.
I think that helps, but I also think, at least from a thing I've noticed, is the more interested I am in the girl, the more likely that it is that I'll struggle to be myself. Because like you get...
But why? Are you scared to be yourself?
No, I think you just you put some expectation on yourself. It's like, oh shit, wow, this girl's amazing. I need to be like on the top of my game. Oh. So when you think about it, then you can turn into the nice guy.
Yeah,
right?
You're overthinking it.
Whereas when you're not interested in a girl, you're yourself.
This is it. Just stay the course.
I think you just gotta not care.
Not care.
That's the thing.
Because honestly, girls are not going to disappear. Women are not going to disappear.
Yeah, I think a lot of the manosphere podcasts and things, they always tell guys, you got to stop thinking in terms of like scarcity, they call it, where this girl's the only girl there is.
Honestly,
there's so many more girls out there.
So many.
If you mess up with one, just
it's really
chill.
not the end of the world.
There's another one.
Calm down. Learn from the mistakes. Yeah. See what happened, why that didn't go how you wanted it to go. But don't go, oh, it's because she was a bitch. No. She just wasn't the one to carry that on with. Calm down. there's more women, there's more girls, there's more people to have a genuine connection with that will work.
Yeah.
So it's okay. You're not, you know, especially as most of these guys are young guys.
Yeah.
You know?
I think so. And the thing I always say is that like men don't hit peak attraction until mid-30s. Like I was such like a skinny, boyish looking guy, you know, and once I got into my 30s, I started to look more masculine and people were more attracted to me. Plus I was more confident, you know, and it's just, I think as a man, you just have to be a little bit patient and it will come together.
Yeah,
naturally.
it will. And the less you try to force it, the sooner it comes.
I think it's always good to improve yourself.
Yes, no.
Yeah.
Always improve yourself, work on yourself, look on yourself whilst you are, you know, waiting for this day to come. But don't actually wait.
Yeah, and
go do shit.
Yeah, do things, but not dating apps.
No, do not do dating apps.
Hobbies, interests, socialize.
Just yeah, go and have a life. So when someone does meet you, you are interested, you are well-rounded, and you are showered. Like
showered, you really.
I'm gonna hammer this in, all right? If there's
so many stinkers out there.
It's more. I think certain ones don't believe that they should have this level of presentability.
I'm gonna say French people, right?
I don't know.
Because I don't know. It seems to be fashionable in France to not wear deodorant, and when they shower, a lot of them don't use soap because they're like, "Oh, it's bad for the environment."
How would you know?
We know a lot of French people.
You know a lot of French people. Okay, I thought you was just peeping in on French people showering going, right, she didn't use any soap.
Not everybody. Like most French people I know are clean, but when I have met stinkers, they've often been French.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've been to France.
Because it stinks. No, it's one of my favourite places in the world.
Well, it's not as romantic as I thought it would be when I went. I had this lovely idea.
Where'd you go?
Well, I went to Paris and I went south of France.
South of France is incredible. I love it.
Oh, it was lovely. But I kind of expected south of France to be more rurally, which it was.
Can be, yeah.
But I expected the main bit to be, I don't know, painted and less graffitied with less rubbish on the floor.
Yeah, the Mediterranean is like graffiti.
Yeah,
paradise,
and the thing is, it was kind of cool to look around, but it wasn't as clean and as polished as I thought it would be. But I still liked it.
Yeah, Mediterranean.
I didn't go around sniffing the people though.
It's hard to avoid. Got a big nose, you see. But okay, is there anything else you want to add on Nice Guys? Do you think we've done everything? Got some.
Yeah, I just kind of feel like you just got to be your genuine self.
Yeah. What about building like a real relationship and a genuine connection? Are there any tips on that?
You can only be being your genuine self. And if you don't know what your genuine self is without saying, I'm a nice guy, and provider doesn't count, saying you can drive doesn't count, and having a job doesn't count.
Yeah.
You as an actual person, how I like to put it is, I don't know how many people who are listening would have ever played Sims. In Sims, you can pick people's character traits.
Okay.
Right? Out of those ones, and you can find the list as well if you need help naming characteristics, pick them. Actually look down at yourself and go, what am I as a person?
Yeah, and I would even say that to make a genuine connection, like so many conversations I have with people, they're very superficial. And the people that I really connect with, it's when we're both able to be vulnerable, to like share some of our anxieties or fears.
This is it, yes.
Flaws.
Having chats about how the weather is nice. And
yeah, because too many times I think people try to present themselves as perfect.
Yeah, and it's fine.
And
no one is.
It's okay to be like, oh, I'm terrible at this.
This is it.
You know, like, if you're socially awkward, just be like, I'm socially
awkward. Totally sorry. And do you know what? People will find that endearing.
Yeah.
Being upfront
and that
being
they know
yourself.
That you're not being rude, you're just a bit awkward.
You've already stated that you're a little bit awkward. And most people will give you that time to go.
I find just being honest, I guess.
Yeah, honest.
Is like being authentic is much better way to get close to people.
And I'm going to tell you now, it is much easier to be your honest self than faking this pretend persona you think we want or think the world wants. 10 times
People
harder.
only fake it when they're with the opposite sex, I find.
This is it.
Or someone they're interested in,
yeah.
let's say.
Honestly, it is much easier to be yourself.
Yeah, because it's not like a job interview where you're
if you
faking it
don't
till you
get
make
this
it.
job, that's fine. I promise you there's another job out there.
Oh yeah, lots of them.
Lots of jobs. Something that'll be more suited to your ideas as well.
Right, how long's that?
I don't know.
Oh, 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
30 minutes of flies, though.
I know, yeah. Just catching flies everywhere.
Yeah. Thanks so much for doing that.
Oh, anytime.
It was awesome to meet you.
Yay.
And
Good to be here.
like without you, I think there'd have been a lot more flies. So
yeah. Somehow, I don't know. I'm the fly ninja. This has been great.
And do you want to tell people where they can find you? And
so the best place is to go to my Twitter. However, we're all shadow banned because we're all horrible humans.
Not me.
Are you not shadow banned?
No,
not yet.
I don't have nudity on my Twitter.
Yeah.
I have a different Twitter for that. It got deleted 2 weeks ago.
So you can normally find me by just giving me a Google of Chloe Toy. Oh, do you know what I will add before? Because this is very important, because we spoke about this whilst I was chatting. When you're trying to tell someone about your genuine interests and the girl or the man says, oh, do you know what? I'm into that too. Do not immediately, intimidatingly go, okay, well, if you like Nintendo, name every producer ever made. Don't do that. That's not how we have a conversation.
What's that movie called where it's like that? It's like a 90s movie, I think.
Oh, I don't know. I was 94, so.
Oh, it's very famous. Where they're in a record shop and but I think men are like that sometimes.
You don't need
they
to
become
be.
nerds with things. And
let us in. If you want us to have the same interests as you, let us in. All right.
Yeah, and I think sometimes fandom for girls is a bit different than fandom for men.
Yeah.
Where men just want to memorize everything.
And I know everything. And this is it.
Like men are much weirder than women. I think like
if you think about it.
It's always men that have weird collections. You don't see many weird. You see some weird female collectors, but men.
I'd like to know what weird
every
is.
man collects something weird.
Yeah, every man collects something weird.
Mine's porn posters from the 60s at the moment.
That could be really cute, though. That could be like if you.
I collect them for their artistic merit.
Oh, obviously, but I think they could look really like.
They're really cool illustrations. Yeah, they're got 3 up at home.
Whereas my other half really into the Lego. Really into the Lego.
How into? How many?
Too many. It's not funny. It's really not funny. I'm forever finding bits of Lego everywhere. And then obviously mine is Nintendo. I have a massive collection of Nintendo stuff, limited edition stuff. But then I also have a weird obsession with shoes as well. Shoes that I will never wear, but I like them.
Yeah, I tried collecting sneakers as an investment, but I just liked wearing them too much.
Oh, yeah. I have no intention of selling any of this collection. It's all mine. I am a proper, just hoarder of it. I think that's more where I am, hoarder. But yeah, let them into the space.
Yeah.
If you want to have something.
Enjoy sharing.
It's a nice thing to have things in common, but don't say, oh, you can't know anything about that because you're a woman.
Yeah, I think that's less common now, though, would you say?
Yeah, it's only with particular fandoms I've found.
Yeah, I think it's because it happens like when I'm traveling and I meet new people, and I'm not someone that has a lot of serious passions, but I'll play some video games or I'm really into a few genres of music. And when I get talking to people, I'm clearly not an expert on those things, and it's almost like they're quizzing me on stuff. And it's like, why?
So
I've never had a girl do that to me. It's always been men, challenging.
Men will just
challenging my knowledge.
Go, oh, that's cool. Oh, and then they'll chat to you about it. Men will, like you said, challenge it as if I've got to pass some magic quiz to affirm I am what I say I am.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, I was talking to a guy about comedy, and he was just naming comedian after comedian after comedian to show me how many comedians he knew. And I was like, okay, this is getting boring.
Oh, we're not even having a conversation now, are we? It's not a conversation, just stating facts at me.
Such a male thing to be a nerd about something irrelevant.
But then being right about it, adamantly right.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I'm guilty of that sometimes.
Yes.
So. But yeah, so thanks so much for coming on.
No worries. It's been
Really appreciate it.
lovely.
It's been awesome.